Hello, it's me, Nia, with my good friend Tyler. Today, we are going to show you the Fin-Lok assembly. For the Fin-Lok assembly, you are going to need 2 arrow fiber centering rings, 2 Fin-Lok rings, sandpaper, pliers, 3 fins, the motor tube with the motor hook. This is the top, this is the bottom, and Gorilla Glue, or Super Glue.
These Fin-Lok rings will hold the fins in place, and they're going to go onto the motor tube a little bit tight, and that's why we need the sandpaper, so we can sand down the inside. So what we're going to do is we're going to see if these fit. Mine do, because I already sanded them down, because it takes quite a while, and it's a pretty tight fit. And so what you'll need to do is take your sandpaper and just sand the inside like this. And eventually they will slide on to your motor tube.
Next, you'll need to align the motor hook channels on the Fin-Lok rings with the arrow fiber centering rings, which are the Fin-Lok channels. Are these little bitty black square on the top of that. And you're going to align it with this one and the one motor channel, so it goes onto the motor hook.
Now that we've got our Fin-Lok rings sanded down so they'll fit over the tube, we're going to line up that channel that Nia was talking about with our motor hook. We're going to slide this on from the top. And remember those lines we drew in a previous video? We've got a top one here and a bottom one here. We're going to bring this down just so it touches that line. It's important you don't go over the line, otherwise we're going to have some fit issues. So we've got that one there. Now we're going to put the second one on from the bottom, and we're going to push it up so it just touches that bottom line that we've already drawn. That went a little too far. With this, it's going to be better to leave a little bit extra space than to put them too close together. So now we've got those on.
The next step in the Fin-Lok assembly
Bottom
involves
tab off of the fins. This part doesn't belong. That's why we put on our safety glasses, because safety first. And we're just going to work this back and forth, and that's going to come off. You see how it left a rough edge here? Nia's going to sand that down because this needs to bolt up to this smoothly. We don't want that rough edge there, so Nia's going to sand that off with the sandpaper.
Sandy. Smooth. And now we're going to keep it there. So, it's going to push it.
Will it not slide?
And it fits in.
Yay.
It's important that we put these in now so we know that these tabs are aligned so they're not crooked. Otherwise the fins will be crooked when the rocket launches, and we don't want that. So it's very important to dry fit these fins now before we glue them in later. What these centering rings are going to do is we're going to slide them on, one from the bottom and one from the top, just like we did with these. And they have that notch for the motor hook as well. So they're only going to slide on one particular way. We're going to put one on from the top and one on from the bottom, like that. And what these are going to do is, let me grab a tube. These rings are going to make sure that when we put this motor housing into the rocket body, that rocket motor is centered in the tube. All these rings are doing is making sure that the motor's centered in the tube. Another very important part. And when we glue these, you want to be careful that you don't get any glue in, on, or around the notches for the Fin-Loks. So what we're going to do is we're going to glue above the centering ring here, and we'll just go around in a circle. And then for the Fin-Lok, we're going to avoid the tabs. We're just going to glue in between the tabs. So if we get any glue in those tabs, the Fin-Lok system won't work properly. As you can see, we don't have any glue on or in the tab channels. So glue here, avoiding the tabs. We're going to do the same here. And then we're going to set it to the side and let it dry.
Thanks for watching step 3, the Fin-Lok assembly.